Well, hello there. Hey. So, I wanted to come to you today with just a couple tips. I'm going to call it, I'm calling it plant tip for the day. And actually, it's just two little quick plant tips. One of them being that normally this light isn't on. You see, a lot of times my lights aren't on during the day. I'm kind of old school in that way. I prefer not to use the energy unless we really have to. So, hey, it saves money on the energy bill. And so the only reason why it's on right now is because I'm recording this video. And also the other thing I've tried to do is like unplug uh, cords when I don't need it. Like, so if I heat up something in the microwave, then I'll unplug it. It's a pretty good habit. Try it and see if you see a difference. I feel like it works. So, okay, that wasn't included in the plant tips of the day. So the first plant tip I wanted to share with you that works for me is that I try to go, the grow light that's behind me, I try to go by keeping it on based on the natural light cycle outside. So like when I get up between 7:30 and 8:30 on the weekday, I'll turn it on. And then, because the season has changed, it gets darker, lighter, I would turn it off around that time. There have been days where I've left it on longer, closer to 7 or 6, but for the most part, I start to turn it on around 5, turn it off at 5 or around 5, closer to 6. And then, of course, during the other seasons, then, I leave the light on according to that cycle. But, you don't have to do it that way. That's just what I like to do just because I feel like, hey, why not give give the plants as much light as, they're getting during their natural cycle. Um, yeah. So that's what I do with the grow light. And, I guess you would want to go based on what your situation is like, what your situation allows and what your plant requirements are. But for me, that's been working and the succulents are doing fine. I do have a fern in there that I might actually take out because I feel like I want to make sure that the moisture that it's getting is conducive to its needs. Whereas, of course, as you probably already know, the succulents don't require as much moisture. Although it's a little separate from them, still, I think I want to take it out. And plus, it's great for the air. It's an air purifier. So it's like, why not take it out and bring it out here versus having it in the tank? It's not necessarily, it's not necessary. Okay, so moving forward, the other tip I have is so I want a humidifier so bad. Um, I don't know if you've experienced that dry nose thing where you just like, ooh, the cobwebs, and it's just like you want the heat on, but then it's too dry and you just feel like you can't breathe when you get up in the middle of the night. So that's one of the reasons why, I definitely want a humidifier. But my first real reason that I felt motivated to have one initially was for some of my plants. Depending on where their origins are, some of them are tropical and they need more moisture. And a lot of times the brown edges is a good indication that the humidity is low and it needs more humidity. Now, in this apartment, we get average about 50% humidity, but some of my plants could stand a little bit more. Like my orchid could probably stand a little bit more. My staghorn fern, depending on where I have it, could stand a little bit more. My fig tree, different plants could stand a little bit more moisture. And especially because I have them in my window garden, which is cooler during the night, which it doesn't get lower than, generally it doesn't get lower than around 60, at least right now. But still, the temperature is just like not necessarily that consistent and it does get dry. So, okay, I have found that if I heat up a pot of water and, get it hot enough so I can get that steam rolling, and I just sit it around the plants, it works magic. It's great. I will insert. I probably already have. No, it's probably coming after this, but I will insert a little video just as an example. You could obviously use as many pots as you want it to, as large as you want it to, but it's good for you too, because like if it's near you, then it's like, okay, more moisture. I can breathe. I mean, sometimes I feel like I need to step outside, even though it's cooler, just to, clear my sinuses because, oh my God, it's so okay. So that's that. 2 plant tips for the day. I hope that helped. If I spent a little bit more on plants, and so I have to wait. But I did see a humidifier on Amazon for $20 on another YouTuber's page. If I can find her page, I will put it in the description. It's a cool little, like, kind of cylinder, round light, and it has like some glowy lights on it, and it's like steamy. And she said she got it for like 20. And then on Instagram, someone spoke about a Bion, Byon, might be wrong on the pronunciation, that they got from Amazon. So I'm sure there's, it could get low, it can get high. But try that if you can't, get a humidifier right away, or you don't have one. Heat a pot of water up and put it around your plants. Okay, quickly try it. If it works, if you've tried it already, let me know. I want to know how it works for you. Talk to you guys later.